How to add value as an accountant. I think there's 4 sets of activities that we can focus on. Even if we work alone, we're going to need a super sophisticated salesperson. Different players in the same industry can be quite different. It's a virtuous circle, a virtuous cocktail. Part of adding value. Identifying the big chunk is only the start of the exercise. 2 or 3, you don't want to load. Trying to build something that's too big, and you have no chance to add value if you don't get the basics right. That's the key. So just to summarise,
whatever role we're in, almost inevitably, it's very challenging. My role is to share the lessons of my 30 plus years of experience of running businesses, developing teams, leading turnarounds and assessing businesses for acquisition.
In all of this, collectively, across the whole of my career, I've been involved with over 150 different operating organisations and environments.
My name's Rob Evans, and I hope you find this content both enjoyable and of great value.
Our technical acumen, our technical expertise has to be taken as a given. We have to differentiate ourselves as an accountant, not by the strength of our technical acumen, because everybody's got the technical acumen that's in an accounting role, we have to assume, but we differentiate it in other ways. We differentiate it by our capability, how we operate, what we know, how we go out of our way to help others. So I think these are the key elements. Everything we do ultimately has to be related back to improving, changing in some way the effectiveness of the organisation that we're seeking to serve. How comfortable are we with the commercial aspects and terminology of business? As someone who's been a CFO for modest businesses all the way up to a $6.5 billion listed group operating in over 70 countries, I think there's 2 sets of acumens that we can really focus on, 2 mindsets that we can focus on, and 4 sets of activities to add value as an accountant. So I'm going to get into now the 2 acumens that I think we need to focus on. First is business acumen, understanding our organisation inside out, understanding how organisations generally are structured. I run a course on it. I think there's 7 activity flavours that underpin every organisation. If we understand the activity flavours, we have a much better ability to be able to quickly accelerate our understanding of an organisation. So understanding how organisations are structured, because the different flavours of activities shape different dynamics that we typically see in organisations. So understanding an organisation, understanding the wider industry in which that organisation operates. Different players in the same industry can be quite different. Understanding the wider economic and business context in which this organisation is operating, the key trends, the trends that affect the business, the general trends that affect all businesses. All of this is really important. It's all part of business acumen.
You can find the programme by clicking the link in the description or the comments. Also, I do keynotes and talks, lunch and learns, breakfast and learns, online forums. So here you can reach me. There's an opportunity there also to join the App Performance Highway community, and there's lots more content.
The second piece is people acumen. I think there's 4 flavours of people acumen that's really going to help us. Even if we work alone, we're going to need leadership skills. We always need help from others. 7-8 billion of us on the planet, not one of us can operate on our own without help. So we have to find ways of engaging sometimes virtual teams of individuals that don't work for us, but we need their help. That leadership skill set is really important within people acumen. The second part is relationship building. The third is selling skills. We are selling effectively a service inside our organisation. We're certainly providing an experience. We're selling ideas. We have to sell information. So basic selling skills. We don't need to be a super sophisticated salesperson, but having basic sales skills is really important, and having great communication skills. We're succinct, we get to the point, we give the headline first and then the detail later if it's needed. All of these aspects are really important. So business acumen, people acumen, very important. I think 2 mindsets will really help us. The first is a mindset of curiosity. The hungrier we are to learn, the more we learn, the more we ask questions and are genuinely interested in the answers, the likelier we are to set ourselves up for success. And it's amazing, as the years go by and the experiences rack up, it becomes much, much easier to find yourself in a new situation and understand quickly what's going on. So that's really important. So curiosity is really important. The second mindset that really helps us, I believe, is to see ourselves as a single one-person business in an organisation. Even though typically we're employed, we ourselves are employed to provide some kind of service. We're employed to provide a service to our line manager, to colleagues in the wider business, to perhaps folks who are external to our business. These are all the customers of our single one-person business. So the better we understand the various constituents that we are serving and the services we provide to them, the likelier we are to provide a great service and to be adding value. So I think these are really important. So these two mindsets, curiosity, and we run a one-person business within a department, within a business as an accountant. And then there's 4 sets of activities that we can focus on.
Well, I hope you're enjoying and getting great value from this video. Please give it a like and please subscribe. It really helps. Thank you.
The first is we have no chance to add value if you don't get the basics right. So we need to get the basics right. And in order to get the basics right, on time, ideally ahead of time, we need to start early in whatever we do. And what I've noticed over the years is because of the volume of work in any finance team, often we find that key projects are started sometimes too late, so there's a mad scramble at the end, or perhaps we're late, or there's not enough time to review properly, or sometimes we bite off more than we can chew, and we haven't necessarily applied enough thought to the ultimate output, and as a consequence of that, we're trying to build something that's too big. And for senior management, for anyone else around the organisation, less is more. So thinking very, very carefully about that is key. So getting the basics right, getting done what we need to get done on time, gives us the platform to be adding value as an accountant. The second part is networking. How hungry are we to learn about other organisations? And how effectively do we engage with individuals of differing levels of seniority? Having a great network in our organisation, outside of our organisation. It helps us learn, but also networking and building a great relationship with those customers that we've identified, the customers of our single one-person business, and understanding from them what are the basics that they need from us, what are their basic expectations from us as somebody who's a service provider to them. Understanding that's going to help us make sure that we deliver the basics, but also understanding from them what's going to delight them. What is going to constitute real value add for them? The better we understand that, the likelier we are to be able to add great value. And the third part about networking is it really helps us, that curiosity, aligning our curiosity, it helps us develop that business acumen, and our people acumen helps us build those relationships. And the fact that we're curious helps us build relationships. So in many ways, it's a virtuous circle, a virtuous cocktail of mindsets and activities that help us add value as an accountant. The third piece that's I think is very important is to always think about the why of the variation. Almost inevitably, a huge part of what we do as an accountant is to have to explain. Yes, we've got to produce numbers, that's the basics. We have to explain variances and what they mean. And there's 2 parts to that. First is the big chunks, because we need to make it understandable. That's the communication I talked about. We need to make it understandable. What's the big differences? If we can identify where there's an expectation, perhaps against the latest forecast or last year or against the budget, and there's a variance, if we can figure out the biggest chunks and not only quantify those 1 or 2 or 3, you don't want to load. There might be 25, but if you can roll the bottom 20 variances together, it kind of swings and roundabouts, they're all tiny, they net off to X or Y, they're small in the context, and we really focused on the very big variances. That's what people want. People want a story that not only explains to them at a big picture level what the variances are, but also makes them feel comfortable that we know what we're talking about. We're on top of the detail. That's part of adding value as an accountant. It's not sufficient to be able to identify the big chunks that are the variances. An absolute key part is to be able to explain the why. That identifying the big chunk is only the start of the exercise. It's all about the why. Why are sales down 10% against the last forecast, or 5%? Or what is it? Is it fewer customers buying? Is it a problem with the economy? We've got to speak to the sales folks, the sales director. We've got to understand what's going on in the market. We have to be able to explain it, but explain it in succinct terms, and explain it, as I said, with the communication, with the headline up front and then the detail later. Explaining the why succinctly, crisply, is incredibly valuable. And the fourth part is, in our quest to add value as an accountant, is continual feedback, because we get all the others right. If we've got this curious mindset. We're really developing our business acumen, our people acumen. We're communicating well, we're selling well. We're really starting to develop our leadership skills, great relationship building skills. We're getting the basics right and understanding what's going to delight our customers, and we're doing our best. We're striving towards delighting our customers. We're getting all these things right. It's then about constant feedback. It's only through the feedback, soliciting that feedback, that we know we're getting better. That's the key. So just to summarise how to add value as an accountant, I think we need to build the platform to add value as an accountant, and that really means focus on business acumen and people acumen. Of course, we have to have our technical acumen. Focus on the mindsets of curiosity, and we run a single one-person business within a business, or within a department within a business. And then these 4 sets of activities. Get the basics right. Network, network, network. Think about the why. Yes, the variances, but the why of the variances, and then this constant feedback. That's how to add value as an accountant.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that and got great value from it. Please don't forget to check out the link. Also, please give it a like and please do subscribe. As I said, it really does help. I'll see you in the next video.